I'm really looking at Black masculinities in the post-abolition period in Brazil, more specifically in Minas Gerais state. There are not many works that try to understand how did the Black men, they construct their masculinities, their notion of how to be a man, how to navigate in this transition from slavery society to our emancipated society. Slavery abolition in Brazil was 1888, so I'm starting researching 1878 to understand this process, this transition. So I'm interested to know how the former enslaved or freed men, they constructed their own masculinity. They developed their own narrative based on their lived experience as enslaved or former slaves. And after that, how they just created a culture of masculinity among them. Because, as you know, masculinity has patriarchy at its base. I would say they adopted as a way to survive and to perform a masculinity that was denied to them because of the slavery system. These subjects are responsible for constructing and sustaining the patriarchal idea of how to be a man. But at the same time, they're also subject to this idea of to perform a certain masculinity. So because, of course, if you are oppressed, you will try to overcome this oppression. And by doing that, sometimes you just reproduce more oppression. And this means you're reproducing oppression towards other subjects. In the case, the females, the Black women, or the women in their everyday lives. Clark's financed part of my research, so thanks to that, I was able to go to archive and search my primarily sources, mostly criminal records, because we are talking about a society that is very violent and very punitive towards Black people and Black subjects. We're talking about crimes, we're talking about, being judged by the justice, being judged by the court, that back in that time is completely racist, is still racist nowadays, but back at the time was leaning to incarcerate mostly Black men because of the possible dangers they could represent for the society. So in the criminal records, I can find the information about who was the subject, how many years old he was, and who owned those subjects, and which location they were. So by combining these informations, I can trace a little bit more to find more about these subjects, either if they are witnesses, defendants, or plaintiffs. So I have more source, I have more information to work with. Although they are enslaved people, and although their voices are not completely in the archive, I can still have access to them, to their lives, and what did they do. The majority of these men that navigated the post-abolition, they tried to be honored men in order to be accepted into the new society. That should bring to surface how this gendered, racialized idea of being a Black man was constructed centuries ago, and is still around. It's still affecting Black men to have a life.